Hello, 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 everybody. My name is Jackson Black. Welcome to the Jackson Black Show with my guest today, Mr. Keith Gavins. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, my friend. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Stoked to sit down and talk to you tonight.
Yeah, about time, man. We've only been talking about this for like a month.
Everybody says that to me.
Right.
So let's
I
just
see
jump
you're a
straight into it.
champion now.
I did. So we got to have a little championship celebration next show.
Yes, we do. ETCW champions.
That was a
Love it.
that was a that was a barn burner with me and Cleppard. I can't wait
I
to
saw some of
show
the
that.
clips you posted. So.
Oh no, that was the one before that. This one's even crazier.
Oh, nice. Okay.
We went
Looking forward to
buck
seeing that.
wild. We went buck wild.
Okay,
We got in
cool.
trouble.
Make sure you send me that link.
I will for sure. Okay, so what got you into the business? Was it like, did you fall in love with it as a child, or is it something you found later in life?
So I mean, I've always been a wrestling fan, man, my entire life, right? I think the first match I ever saw was Macho Man, and I don't remember who else it was, but I remember it was Macho Man. I was young; I was like 3 or 4 years old. Watched it ever since, and then my son was born, and I took him to an independent show. He was like 6 months old, and I said he loved it, man. You know, just as much as I did, and I was like, I'm gonna be a wrestler. So I contacted a trainer. I got trained. Took about a year and had my first match, and I've been doing it ever since.
That's
So
what's up. So let's go to
yeah,
that first match. How were you feeling before you hit the curtain, and then maybe how you felt after getting back to back?
so everybody always tells you as soon as you walk through that curtain, it's an adrenaline rush you'll never be able to understand. And you know, you hear it, and then it happens. And before the match, I was nervous as all can be. Cadillac Cowboy was my first match, and he told me, you know, three things you want to do out there, kid, and we'll do them, and that's it. And I said, uh-oh. So anyway, I walk out of the curtain. I was a good guy at the time, so people knew me from security and refing, and it was cool to be in the ring. You know, after the match, I didn't know how to come down. I was just so high off it. I was like, this is amazing. When do I get to do this again? You know, so
Yeah, I know that problem. Like my wife would be like, "So what time did you go to bed?" And I was like, 6. To bed at like 5:30, 6. She's like, I was like, that's just such a wired thing.
it
It's
really
hard.
is. Yep. My wife always
So,
asks me, you know,
who
why
do
do
you
you do
think?
it? I'll go ahead.
So much fun. No,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just so much fun. Like it hurts. It does hurt sometimes.
I always tell her, you'll never understand until you can walk through the curtain. I can't explain it to
Right.
you, you know. So
So if you
it's just
get
one of
some
those
sort
things.
of reaction, it's good.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if you're not getting a reaction, it's not good. So
I've I've had a couple of those. They're like, who is this guy and why is he wearing a glitter jacket? You're right.
it
Who is
looks
this
good though.
guy?
It's good.
So let's so who were some of the people that you might have looked up to, maybe honed your in ring after?
Like, are we talking WWE, WCW type
It is
wrestlers,
up
or
it is up to you. Whoever in the world
all
that
right?
might have influenced your in ring style.
So there's two guys that I try to use most of their moveset, I guess. That's going to be Chris Benoit and Baron Corbin, and I watch both of them, watch a lot of their work, and I try to mimic both their styles into what I do. But I also bring a little bit of myself and a lot of what I learned on the indies. Guys like Southern Bad Boys, guys like Cadillac Cowboy, Matt Raby, Tristan Ramsey, those kind of guys, man, they just showed me a lot of different ways of doing things. So you learn a lot as you go, man. And if you're not consistently learning, you're not doing it right. So
I agree with that. I agree with that totally. That's a good one. So this one's fun. This one stumps people sometimes. So we give you a Mount Rushmore. Who's going on your Mount Rushmore?
whoo, ah, let's go. Chris Benoit, Bret Hart, Triple H, Roddy Piper.
Can't go
Dang.
wrong with Piper.
Yeah,
Can't go wrong with Piper. So do you
Piper's too
remember?
good.
So what would be like? What's your best? What was your best in ring moment that you can think of off the top of your head? Like you're really like, oh man, this is something.
Yeah, when you're in there and you hear the crowd and you're just laying there for a minute. Actually, this match I had with El Gordo Gringo at KFW, him and I built a story for a year and a half straight, just wrestling each other, tag matches, stuff like that. But it always we had a great story for being so early in the card, and we finally had our big blow off match, and it just was like everything clicked. The crowd clicked, the moves clicked, the timing clicked, everything just clicked perfectly. And I think at that moment, everything was just like, this is perfect. I don't want this to end, you know? So,
I bet.
but like all good things, it had to come to an end. So,
There's definitely guys you get in there with and you're like, oh man, this is just gonna be great. But then
yeah.
there's the inverse of that where you get in there with guys and you're like, oh, this is definitely gonna be a
Uh-oh.
match that happened.
Yeah. But you know what? You got to learn from it. That's the way I always look at it. I'll wrestle anybody in the world, even if they suck. Trust me. But,
For sure.
you know, I'm going to learn what not to do.
I agree. So they say some young little teenager came up to you and he's like, hey, I'm a big fan of yours. How do I become professional wrestler? What's your advice for that kid?
Don't. Don't. Unless you got a bunch of money saved up, don't. Because when you want to be a wrestler, it's full time. It's not part time. So you really, really have to want to be a professional wrestler. Um, I don't do it so much as a profession as I try to do it before. But if you want to be somebody in wrestling, you have to give it 110% every single time you go out there. So
it's funny because
that's my advice.
I saw this meme. Oh no, it's gone. It was good. Oh no, that's what it was. I want to say like it was like I don't think it was Billy Stark. Somebody put it out, and it was like once you're a wrestler, everything else is just boring. Like everything's boring.
Yes,
like, unless you're talking about the business.
Wow. Wow, that is so true.
Everything is just boring. I used to be into so many things, and I'm just like, this is so boring. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing fills that itch.
That stimulant. Yeah, that's the good word. Man. No, that's so true. I never really thought about it like damn, that's so true. Hey, watch this movie. Right now. Nah, I want to go watch wrestling, man.
I want to.
So.
I just here's one. I just discovered like I don't know what my wife did. I'm not really sure what she did, but I've been in like WCW 97-ish era right now. So I'm watching some like NWO takes over like pretty much every single show. Just beat the crap out of
course, yeah.
Everybody take over the whole show. I went to click on it and it was like, you do not have premium Peacock. And I was like, there's only two options for Peacock. It's premium and then whatever the hell the other one is, the more expensive one. And I'm trying to click on matches and it's like, you're not subscribed to Peacock. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Subscribe.
Right? So she's out right now. So I'm going to have to talk to her when she comes back. What the hell did you do? Like, I love Impact Wrestling, but like, I'm deep in this 97 NWO takeover. Like,
right.
I need this. Scott Steiner hasn't even turned yet. Like,
wow.
It's not. Yeah, it's about to get.
It only goes. It only builds and then declines so much from there.
Love Merhate.
Oh, poor NWO.
After that. And they had so many NWOs. Like, it was the whole roster was part of the NWO. I feel like at one point, like everybody was NWO, and you had like Diamond Dallas Page fighting all of WCW.
Right, him and Sting. Man, my son was like, I got him an Ultimate Edition Kane, and so today we had to watch Kane versus Undertaker casket match 3 times in a row. So that was
That's
that was
awesome
great.
though.
Yeah,
My
it was
son
pretty
just
great. I do love going back and watching it.
I wish that so my wife just isn't a fan of me wrestling. I because I guess she knows like I go
Same,
hard in the paint. So like sometimes when she like
same.
tries to touch me, I'm like, ah. She'd be like, "What did you
Man,
do?" And I was like, "I'm not gonna tell you. You wouldn't like it."
do you get the you just don't do you get the you just don't understand talk? We have to watch you in the ring and worry about you getting hurt.
Dude,
And I
my
always
wife,
say,
she showed up to one show, and then she was getting Burger King, and I opened. So like she got there and the show was over. Like for her for watching me, it was done. And I was like, "Yeah, I just went out. Like I've been back here for 5 minutes." It's the only time she ever came, and she drove like
wow,
2.5 hours to watch me work, and it just didn't happen.
dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get her out to a show. Make her stay.
So my son hates the like he just doesn't dig loud noises, and that like once you
Uh,
scoop slam somebody is so loud, so damn
that's true.
loud.
That's true. We had us a
So
nice
does your
little
son?
match at the birthday party.
Yeah, that was good, man. I wish we had on tape too.
I know that's how I feel about it. I'm like, somebody should have recorded that. There was,
I was like,
all 12,
because like
all 12
I had
people.
I had back to like good matches, and I was like, oh man, I wish I had that one because
That was
it
good.
was fun.
Called on the
I was like,
fly and everything worked.
oh, dude, Saturday, they're like, I was like, we should probably be like semi-main event, me and Jeff, I would assume. And they're like, well, we're gonna do this, and I was like, so you want us to open as a new no DQ? Like, okay, we're gonna take
You love that.
everything. We're taking everything that there is to take, and we
Did you?
did. Yeah,
Yes.
we did.
That's what
Dude, we
matters.
did
Nice.
chair shots
Nice.
outside. I set up a chair and did like a almost like I'd hit it like Jeff does, but I think I just ended up doing like an axe handle. But I ran and jumped off the chair, and I was like in the air, like boom.
I'm looking forward to watching that.
I can't
I
wait.
wrestled Tristan. I wrestled Tristan in a thumbtack match Saturday. That was pretty fun.
So, how did that go? How did that go?
It went. I got a nice little scar on my bald head here. But we had some fun. We had to follow a fans bring the weapons match, so that was difficult.
I hate those matches.
Yeah,
I hate them. Absolutely hate them.
Man, steal the show every time.
Yeah, because people bring weird crap, dude. Like weird stuff. Like, no, you can't bring fillet knives in. Sorry, ma'am. What the hell's wrong with you?
Somebody had a hatchet out there, I was told.
Of course they did.
Dang.
They're like,
Yeah, of course.
And I was like, no, not that kind of blood, bro. What the hell's wrong with you?
Some people's kids, man.
That is the show that shall not be named.
Tristan, I put a mouthful of thumbtacks, and he swallowed one mid-match, so that was fun.
Ow.
Yeah, it was a good time.
That's rough. That's really bad.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. Ref told me, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna fumble with this chair for a bit. Give him a minute,
like How is he bleeding? Like, is he?
No, he was all right. He got it down, but yeah, that was crazy.
Jesus, that's rough.
Good old wrestling.
Yeah,
full of stories.
I love it. Okay, so here's fun. Give me I know everybody's got a good one. Give me a good road story. I know you probably got one in there somewhere.
Oh man. So we went to Horror Slam in Detroit, Michigan. That was a good one. Drove all the way there. It was me, Matt Raby, Cadillac Cowboy. I'm forgetting somebody. Somebody else went with us too. And anyway, long ass drive. Finally get up there, and weed's legal. So, so needless to say, we spent a lot of time in the dispensary and only a little time at the wrestling show. so essentially, we drove all the way to Detroit to wrestle for 15 minutes, and buy a bunch of pot, and come home.
That's not a bad one though.
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
it.
man. Best 10-hour drive of my life.
Oh man, I'm
What?
going to Illinois this Saturday. Yeah, I might do something similar.
What part of Illinois are you going to?
Decatur, Illinois.
Oh, nice. I'm from a little town south of Joliet in Illinois. I'm born and raised. Beecher, Illinois. You ever heard of it?
Nope.
It's about it's about 40 minutes south of Chicago. So
Okay.
yeah.
It's my first time going up there. It's gonna
Is
be
it?
interesting. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. He's like, it's
Be
kind of in
prepared
the
to be
hood.
bored.
He's like, it's kind of. He's like, where we're going is kind of like in the hood, and I was like, should I bring my signs? Of course, I should bring my signs.
Oh
We're gonna
yeah.
get shot. Like,
It's not hard there. It's definitely not hard there. They call it Chirac for a reason.
oh man, I just want to make it back. Just want to make it back. So,
Right?
who's been your toughest opponent you think in your career so far?
Mentally, I'd say Lodi. I really trained hard to have that match. I was really nervous. So mentally, I would say definitely Lodi. Physically, man, I've gone to war with some guys. But I will say probably the toughest is this kid, Eli Green. I punched him
Oh, I beat him.
in the jaw. Yeah, I punched him in the jaw in the ring and knocked him out. And he got right back up after being knocked out and kept and finished the match. So 110% respect.
Yeah, he's got
And
mad turtle power.
yeah, man. I said that's a tough son of a bitch. So he did good, man.
Oh yeah, we beat
Yeah.
Mr. Eli. I remember that. He was
I
like a
beat him.
picture. He was like a picture, like of like a background photo in somebody's thing, and it was like me hitting like the white noise on him, and I was just like, "That's funny as hell."
He did beat me for tag titles once. I'm still mad about that.
Yeah, gotta potato him again.
Right? So you're gonna be on Wrestle Talks next week?
But tomorrow, what the hell's today?
Is that
The next
Tuesday?
day, Wednesday.
Is that Wednesday? Yeah,
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Yeah, I'll be
I gotta
there.
come back up there. Come back
That'd be
up
a good
there
time.
soon.
I think
definitely.
they're gonna have like David Barnabas Spector on there. I dig that guy's shit, like I do.
I don't even know who that is. I'll have to look him up.
He's like
Wow.
he kind of dresses like he's got like a top hat. He's like a manager.
Okay, I've seen. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Okay,
And
I haven't seen his
he
work
was,
yet, but I've seen pictures of him.
I think before they got signed to like Ring of Honor, he was like that guy Khan and whoever. He was like their manager too. And I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
this guy's fucking everywhere. He's good
That's
shit.
good for him. Good for him. Yeah, I'll check him out definitely.
I told them that I was like, I'm not going to be doing any interviews on this show because there's too many damn people. There's so many segments on that show.
Oh yeah.
So I told them straight up, I was like, yeah, I'm just going to talk about what's happened in wrestling this week and what's coming up and the big shows, and that's all I'm doing.
There you go.
Because they got me and Douglas Sanders on there, and it's like the same heel and the same heel on the same show.
Do a cross segment.
It's just bickering. It's like an old married couple.
That's funny.
So let him have
See,
it. Let him have his moment. He needs it. Yeah, Douglas.
The
That's
fat
shade at
bitch
you.
fun.
Your nails are stupid.
Oof. Make that triple threat happen.
I'd be down. That's what I'd like to beat up Douglas. He's got under my skin a little bit.
Yeah, I've never got to beat him up. That would be fun.
Me
I think I
neither.
chopped him once.
Boogie beat him up. I remember Boogie beat him up. And that was entertaining.
See, we got man.
So
Gotta add
if
that
you
one
were
to the
to,
list.
yeah, if you were to pick like maybe just so I know we talked about Benoit. If you could pick like, what do you think was the match that would made you like look at them at a Benoit or somebody and you were like, oh, okay, that's legit. I like that stuff.
Shawn Michaels Triple H SummerSlam. 110%. Best match of all time, in my opinion.
Oh,
Man.
that's a hard one to put out there.
Oh man, this story, the build up, everything was just so perfect. The match itself was perfect.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought it was great. But
what would I
that
say?
was the hook.
That's got me thinking like I know. Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, Slim Jim presents Halloween Havoc 1997.
So good. So good. God. But if I can only do half of those things.
I can stretch people
Hey.
like Eddie, but I can't be moving like that.
Fair. Man.
So of all
Some of those
of
guys
all
are
the
just so
matches and oh yeah, of all the matches and all the things, what's like a good like your like top 5 of your own that sticks out in your head of stuff that you've done in your career?
Story I was telling you about with Gordo Gringo for sure. Say the Austin West. I've got a deal with him going on. I don't know if you know who that is. He's phenomenal, but he's about to retire. I'm going to work his last match with him. But him and I have had some really great matches over the years. Southern Bad Boys because of how much I've learned and been yelled at and cussed out by them in the locker room after matches. So any match with them was always good. Always a learning experience. This match I'm about to have with Isaac Kane is going to be one of my favorite matches, and it hasn't even happened yet. It's the man who trained me. It's my first time wrestling him after all these years, so I'm really excited for that. And I'd say my matches with Hunter Drake, as well as at KFW. Young kid, he's awesome. Kid can fly, he can wrestle, he can work the crowd. But him and I have put on some pretty good matches, storytelling, all that good stuff. So I'd say those are my 5 favorites so far.
Yeah, Hunter's a JPWA guy, I do believe. He's one of me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you are a JPWA guy. I've wrestled almost everybody that's graduated from that school.
And see, the thing is, yeah, it is pretty cool. You're like the barometer for the guys. Like, okay, that kid's just not gonna work. There's so many people that go into that school, and then there's like, I don't even know, 10% would be a high end that actually end up doing anything on the scene at all. It's wild. I just don't get why you would. Oh, Stacks, talking Stacks.
Yes. He's just gotten so good. I give him that. He's gotten so good, and he was one of the. I think he came out of the first class, right?
Yeah, I remember.
I think he was in
probably
first class
because I remember like before I ever started, I saw them all getting just chopped to shit by Sheamus, and I was like, "Oh, is this gonna be a thing? Like, I don't want to get chopped by Sheamus." Like,
yeah. I tell my son all the time, the only goal I have is to get to the WWE ring and get beat up. That's like my first goal. And he was like, "What if they put you in there with Sheamus and Braun Strowman?" I said, "Then I'm just doing it."
Right?
I'm just doing it.
These are memories you can't get back.
Oh, yeah, right. I let Sheamus, what is that? Beats of Bear or whatever he calls it, smacking him in the chin. I don't know.
That was a banger of a match at WrestleMania.
Oh, man. Whew. Best match. I in my opinion, that was the best match.
Oh, hands down. Hands down.
They didn't pull one punch that whole match.
No, except for the kick in the opening.
Yeah.
That was the only thing. Everything
fault,
else was just big meaty man slapping big meaty men.
Slapping. Oh, Big E, how we miss you.
Yes, we do.
Goodness.
So this is a fun one. I like to do this one. I usually do it later, but I'm just going to do it right now to get it out. It's a thinker. Sometimes some people just laugh it off. But if after everything's done, you left the boots in the ring and you've hung it up, what's the legacy you want to leave behind in this business?
Oh man. Work a crowd. That's it. I just want to. That's really it. It's not about the moves. It's more of the memory you leave behind. And I just really hope that the crowd remembers me. I could care less if anybody else does. So as long as they remember, I give somebody a memory. I've done my job.
Right. I agree.
Uh,
Although, man, I just take the cash and go. I'm a piece of shit at that point. I just pay me. I'm ready to go.
oh man,
Put me in.
yeah, give me all the money. Well, no, I also have to leave a door open for my son. He's only 7, but he tells me all the time that's what he wants to do. So as long as I can leave a door open for him, I've done what I needed to do. So
Second generations are usually better than the first sometimes.
oh,
For the most part.
When I tell you this kid's better than 90% of the guys around here, bro, he's good. He jumps off the couch, gives me Hurricanrana out of nowhere.
That's fire. Mine likes to just chop block me, like he'll like come run through and take the knee out, and then try to bulldog
there
me.
You go.
Like, dude, no. And I was like, this is gonna hurt, and then he's
a
gonna
good
be older, and he's gonna smash it on me and break my damn nose.
Just put the hands down first. You'll be all right.
Yeah, calm down. I'm gonna punch you in the mouth. So I was talking to somebody. I think it was a couple of shows ago. I've only had like 3 recently at this same show. Really bad interactions with referees, and there's only and I'd say that with the JPWA statistic of there being maybe 10% of the people that go to the school working, I think there's like 5% good refs in the business, and that's like it.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. What are your experiences, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, okay. So a show recently I quit. This guy came up to me, and there's a video with Jack Vaughn, and the ref comes up to him before the match, and he's like, "Hey, kid, what do you want to do?" And I had that happen to me. And I was like, the fuck? I was like, I want you to count 1, 2, 3. That's all I want you to do. So I guess that didn't go over well. So we get out there, and he starts like heel reffing me. And he's like, 1, 2.
What?
Yeah. And so, yeah, that happened. And then another one I had with the ref, I was like, hey, last time we were in here together, you were like super close when we were doing stuff, and like we're not like the lightest of men, so we're gonna like, if you get in the way and we don't see you, we're gonna like break something of yours. I was like hype in this fucking match, like so fucking hype.
Yeah.
Like, so, sometimes you just get super hype. And I was like really hype. And I went for a frog splash. And if I tell you that I was like 15, 16 feet in the air, that's not a fucking joke. I was so high up in the air. And whatever, I don't know what he was thinking. So when I was coming down, I mean, I was really high up there. So I bounced. And dude, I bounced like over, like fucking like almost like Scorpion. And I kicked the shit out of him. Like right in his mouth, just full blood. Like just bleeding everywhere, and I'm like, "Oh shit! I took the ref out." Yeah, So those are what happened to me.
Dang, man. Yeah, I had a ref count a finish, like not even a quarter of the way through a match, when he knew what the finish was. So that one really pissed me off. And I've had so many with refs. I will say the best ref around here, in my opinion, is that Devin Parrott. That kid, he's awesome. And Carlos Stapleton's also a really good one around here.
Sure. I don't think I know those.
Have you worked with Devin? Yeah, you've worked with Devin. He refs down with ETCW. The kid, Billy's son.
Oh, the bigger.
Yeah.
That little fucker. He had to do every match at that show Saturday.
Did he really?
Yeah.
And I bet he killed it. I bet he did a good job on all of them.
Oh, dude, I was like, I came up to him after the show. I was like, good fucking job. And I was like, I know you got a piss right now. And he goes, why is that? And I was like, because I've seen you drink 8 waters. Yeah, that kid's good. I
Man,
do like him.
I love messing with him in the ring. So every time he tries to push me back or whatever, I'll dance with him and stuff. And boy, he'll hold me back every time. I love the dedication he has. He does a great job. He's really good, man.
There aren't enough good refs. There's a lot
No,
of
there's
bad
not.
ones.
Yes.
And
Watch him and
a lot of these dudes
for
are
all the
saying
other
that,
refs
like,
out there.
how are you, like, where are you refed at before? Oh, my cousin said, like, he's a promoter and he said I'll be a good referee. I was like, you ever done it before? Well, no. And I was like, bro, there's a lot of intricacies to this shit. Like, it's not easy. The ref works way harder than I ever work. I feel like
They don't get enough credit. Without the ref, you really, I mean, they're the biggest heels in the match. Come on.
Yeah.
If they do their job right.
And I was putting it together. I was like, I said, I think I did an interview with Troy Beasley. It was like a couple weeks ago. And I was telling him, I was like, no, not enough attention gets shown to like everybody that helps put the show on. Like, they do all this shit to get ready for a show. All we do is we go out there and just perform on the stage. We didn't put the stage together. We didn't do any of that. We didn't put the lights up. We didn't put the sound up. We didn't do any of that stuff. Those guys did it for us to excel. So shout out to you people.
Yes. I make a point to shake literally everyone's hand, that even the people behind concessions. And most of the time I always get this look. Just saying thank you. I appreciate it, you know.
Now here's a hot take. I hate shaking hands. I
really
hate it. It's absolutely if we're not 1940s businessmen, okay? Like, if I'll shake a hand if you shake a hand, but if you give me the limp wrist or the elbow or the eyebrow,
the 2 fingers. Where's my camera? Yeah, the 2 fingers. Yeah, I hate that.
I was like, bro, big time in me.
Disrespectful. Like, yeah.
Fucking big time in me right now, bud. Oh, man.
It is what it is.
See,
everyone's got their thing.
This is the fucking kind of interview I like to do, because this feels like just conversation. It feels like we're shooting the shit. This one will probably do very well.
Cool.
Usually it goes question, answer, and then sometimes there's some house plants in there where they just yes. What? I said, and why, kid?
Yeah. Give me an explanation.
So what was your hardest match? Well, my second one.
Against this one guy?
Against this one guy. You
I don't
might
remember
know
who
he was like, he was tall.
He wore red and black. He wore red and black tights with a star on the side.
Oh God! So he definitely went to high spots.
You might know me at overalls. His name was Big Country.
Oh, it's always a big something. It's always a big something. Recently, I've noticed that the big somethings aren't even big somethings. They're like 2 inches taller than me. I'm like, you can't call yourself
5'8".
You can't call yourself big something, and then you're like 185 pounds. Like, you're not big anything.
It's my gimmick, man. No. But it's my gimmick.
That guy's 400 pounds, and his name's Big Something. That sumbitch is a big something.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And he calls himself like Littlefoot or something.
Oh,
the big guy.
It's always, and he works down to everybody. Like, he doesn't do big man shit. Just like locking up low with you.
Bumps on a shoulder tackle.
Fuck. There's so much of that crap. It's astronomical.
I love wrestling.
I love wrestling too. I don't always.
Sometimes I have to tell myself that.
Interact with. I'm just like, dude, why? I was like, my goal. I tell everybody, and I'm straight up a cocky piece of shit. I don't care. If it was a really good match, I'll come back to the back and be like, try and top that.
Fair enough.
And they'll be like, "Do you that?" And I was like, "Well, obviously you haven't seen me like how I talk. First off, even if it was the shits, I would say that. Like, doesn't matter. It's who I am."
It was a Jackson Black match. It was good. Damn it.
I was like, "See, I have my name on it. It's fucking great." Oh man. Oh man. Yeah, we got to get in there again, like in front of people though.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I
Man. I'm
wrestled
just
you, I
working
wrestled
real booking right now.
Smiley, wrestled both of you guys now.
Smiley's so
It's
good.
like a fucking tank, dude. That standing drop kick,
So good.
I hate
I'm
it.
telling you, and every time I tell him he has the best drop kick, he's like, "You're lying, man." No,
It's like so good. Like
it
I
is.
hit I hit 1 in 3 drop kicks good.
I think I've hit
They're
one
all
drop kick
not-
my entire career.
They're all not great. But then there's some guys that you look at and you're just like, wow. Like, man, you're just so talented. It's not even funny. I love wrestling the guys that don't really know how talented they are. And then you get in the ring with them and you're like, fuck this guy. I quit. I quit the business.
Billy Tipton. Have you worked him?
No, but I have been in the ring with Billy Tipton at JPWA.
That kid is so good.
Deceivingly so strong. Like,
yeah, it's
you
so
wouldn't
good.
think he's yeah, he's so good. But so strong too, which is like some people are like, you see him and you're like, I think he's probably strong as shit. Like, Jesus Christ, Billy Tipton is strong as hell.
Yeah, there's some moves that's like, I don't, this, and you're like, I don't know. Don't worry, I got you. All right, and then he goes up, and you're like a rag doll.
That gut wrench.
All right,
I saw him gut wrench a guy like just like this, like 7 times before he threw him. I'm like, God, you got good rotator cuffs. Like,
right? Yeah, my shoulder would have been over, hanging.
Just can't do it. Billy Tipton is a great worker too.
Yeah, he's one of those kids that's just way better than he gives himself credit for, in my opinion. God, he's so good.
Yeah, we never got to work, but he was always like, I think for a while there he was like running like the back at 127. So I used to always see him. I never worked with him though.
Okay.
Just a monster though.
I worked 127 one time as a babyface. That was awful.
It was entertaining. It was the most like, not to like drag shows in the mud, but like, Jesus Christ, if I was green, like super duper, I guess I'm still fucking green, but I was really green, and I didn't even know what the fuck like the structure of a match was. I didn't know how to do that yet, and I was like, they're like, so like, what's your stuff? And I'm like, oh, like, I don't know, like clotheslines or something. I don't fucking know. And they're like, all right, well, you're going against this guy, and your match starts in 2 minutes.
There you go.
Have you been in this long, bro? And he's like, yeah, I've been doing it 10 years. I'm like, fuck.
Well, he's got you.
You got to run the whole thing. And tell me where to put my stuff, because at this point, I don't know.
Yeah, please just talk to me the whole time.
Just like I'm lost, and I'm going to give you these eyes, and I'm just going to grab like arms. And that's like the whole thing. That's all I'm going to do. Oh,
so
shit.
anytime somebody calls a full entire match out to me, I always do this at the end of it. I let them call the whole match out, and then I go, just so you know, I'm only going to remember up to this point. So when we're out there, you're going to have to remind me. And I'm telling you, man, every time, right after that exact point, I go, all right, what are we doing? 99% of the time, we don't do any of the shit they called in the back because they forgot what it was. It works out.
No one ever does. No one ever does. I bet you.
Yeah,
I bet
you don't have
would love to be in the back of a Young Bucks match when they're calling everything.
Whew. Man, I would have.
Because I guarantee they don't even use like fucking 90% of the shit that they call.
I would be standing back there going the whole time, just trying to remember everything. No way.
That's why like if you have 5 things, and then you can just put them wherever they need to go. moments like I think who was it? Whose seminar was it? I was watching, and they're like, yeah, people do whole match structures, and he goes, me, I just look for moments, and I was like, that's way fucking easier, because then you just
It's
have to
way
hit something
easier.
big and then back and forth, and it's
Yep.
good. Oh shit! So what do you got? Did I ask you what you got coming up?
I've got Independent Uprising against Isaac Kane for KFW. That is going to be in Sevierville at the Arby River Plantation Resort on April 18th, I believe. That's on my Facebook and my Instagram as well. I've also got me and Austin West at the Fight Against Cancer 7 for Lenny in Bristol, Tennessee. So that's going to be a really good
Okay,
one.
so I'm gonna break it. So I literally just interviewed two like fucking right before you, Evan Golden, and he gave me the same date.
He's another one that's so good. I don't know if you've wrestled with him yet, but man, he's good.
Not yet.
Yeah, he's really good. What else do I got? I got a few other things. I just can't think. Oh, me and Smiley defending those ETCW Tag Team Championships at ETCW against Hairband and his partner. So that should be a really good one. Excited for that one.
Are you guys the nice go lucky good guys?
Oh yeah, yeah. People love it.
Oh, okay. So I guess we just have to have a championship celebration next time.
I guess so. Yes, we do. Party. Well, you know how those bad guys. We'll have to be ready for those bad guys to run out on us. So
I'll kick them all right in the face.
Always trying to ruin good things.
I'll bring my guy Scott Savage, and then we'll be good.
There you go.
I think us three and Scott Savage could handle. We could hold ourselves against that locker room just fine.
Yeah, we'll be all right. Smiley just be jumping over us the entire time, just hitting people drop kicks.
Oh no, see Rex. I like beating up Rex Riley. That's like one of my favorite pastimes. So
I've had the pleasure of doing it this past month. So
it's so fun.
It is fun.
I remember one show, and this is funny. This is a little back. He tried to get me in the crippler crossface. He crossfaced me, and I was like, bro, no. And I was like, it ain't gonna happen. And so he had it for a second. I was like, oh shit, maybe it is gonna happen. And so then I just was like, mm-mm. So like as my arm's getting ripped off over here, I start getting to my knees, and then I get to my stomach, or then I stand up, and then I got Rex up here, and I'm like, yep, Death Valley driver. I was like, fuck you.
Call it as it's happening. Death Valley.
Right. There you go, bud. Oh man. Well, brother, great. It's been great to talk to you today and hear a little bit about you.
Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having me.
I'm gonna do my exit, and then yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another amazing episode of the Jackson Black Show. I am Jackson Black, and this is Keith Gavins, one half of the ETCW Tag Team Champions of the World. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and like and do all that fun stuff. It'll be everywhere, and love it.